YouTube world. It's Saturday morning, April 25th. It is 8:05 a.m. and I'm about to make a road trip with my man, Will Grazione.
What's going on, people?
We're leaving Tampa. We're headed over to the OCB Orlando Championships, and it's going to be a long day of. We're getting started early with the coffee, but this is the grind, man. This is what it's about. I'm going to drive so Will can work, and then later on Will drive so I could work, because Saturdays are busy days for both of us. So it's about a 2-hour drive to where we're going. Actually, I haven't put it in the map yet, but we'll figure it out.
About 2 hours.
So today's gonna be fun. We'll try to get video of the pre-judging. I'm gonna try to get video of me with my client, and whoever else shows up, we'll try to get in video and just show you what a day of bodybuilding is like, right? I mean, this is pretty typical.
This is it, yeah.
Whether you're competing or not, it kind of goes like this. Get up early, you know, they're long days in most cases. So this will be a good little insight into, you know, this is a good show. It's an IFPA Pro Qualifier in Orlando, so there should be some good talent there. So you ready to roll?
We're ready.
Let's roll.
Let's do it.
All right, Will. All right, we're stuck in
in traffic right now. Going on an hour.
An hour. We've gone 2 miles. So welcome to I-4. If you're not familiar with Florida, there's an accident right up the hill. So it's just like a dead stop. So we're going to be a little later than we wanted to be.
Indeed.
But the show doesn't start till actually 12:30. Yeah. Pro's go on at 12:30.
Said to be there at 11:30. So.
Yeah, he wanted you there to get everything settled. So we're just going to have to. So we got 3 hours to get to the show. I mean, I think once we get past this, we're only an hour and 40 minutes away.
Yeah, yeah.
But traffic sucks
We'll make it.
ass. Good news is it's so bad that we're not even moving, so we can actually work.
This is true.
All right. Next time we talk to you, hopefully we're in Orlando. If not, call YouTube. Find out where we're at.
All right, gentlemen, the pose of your choice. Pose of your choice. It's going on Facebook and anything else we can put it on. One more pose.
Denise Charles Fuller just won the IFPA Pro Masters Championship at the Orlando show. How did you feel?
I feel I did great. Everything went according to plan. I knew there wasn't going to be any weigh-in, so I was going to be against some bigger guys. So I tried to come in a little fuller. Not as tight as I've been before, but I wanted to.
And you're here from Texas, right?
I'm from Texas.
Yeah, your first pro win?
First pro win, first IFPA.
What are your plans?
I have no idea. I'm going to go back home with the wife and take a look at the schedule. We're going to figure it out. It's kind of hard with our little 2.5-year-old daughter. So yeah, so we're going to look at the schedule and see where we want to go next.
Well, I've never seen this guy compete before, but he's got an instant fan in me. I'm looking forward to seeing him next. Why don't you hit a few poses, just because you have fantastic symmetry.
All right.
Hit a couple of your favorites. See some detail here. Yeah. No gaps in this. Great conditioning, filled out nicely.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
It's really nice to meet you.
Yeah.
People get in touch with you or anything?
Yeah, social media. My handle is Skeletor Lives. Skeletor Lives on Facebook, Instagram. Check me out. Follow me.
I'll put it down below on your Instagram.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Just wanted to give you a quick preview of what Kevin was looking like when we showed up. This is Kevin Cui. We worked together for 2 years now. He took second at this show last year, so we targeted the show for a full year. This is Kevin in the morning. Very tight, but a little bit flat. Kevin comes in about 196, 197 pounds. So I got a good look at Kevin. This is about an hour before he was to be on stage, and I was able to add in some sodium, some water, and some carbohydrates, and you'll see the results. But this is the first peek at Kevin on the day of the show. He already had a bunch of food and a bunch of water in him, but that's the benefit of actually being here. I can actually manipulate stuff.
All right.
There's no one in the bathroom.
So this is called DREAMTAN. This is the secret of white bodybuilders everywhere. You use DREAMTAN, Rico?
Yeah, he might be my brother in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Area.
Okay.
Go.
Jumping in?
Make sure you take care now.
No, what is this called?
I'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, 3 weeks.
Looks like you already got some, sir.
You're getting what? Oh, good, good, good. I was just gonna.
So the trick with this is not just smearing it on like this. It's actually using your palm, not your fingers, but your palm. Slapping it flat like that. What it does is it allows the pores to open up a little bit. It absorbs it into the skin. Gives it a nice even coat.
He just fingers.
Like this. Yeah, it's uneven, but with the palm,
All right.
palm evens it all out nice.
Okay.
And then once this dries a little bit, you see when he gets on stage, it actually pulls the light into him and gives him better info.
Yeah.
All right, it's recording.
Like 7:30 and 10:30. So improv tonight, earthquake's gonna be there.
So this is me just putting the final touches on Kevin. We probably have about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes before he actually gets on stage. So I'm just putting him through his quarter turns, touching him up. Then I'm having him do a round of pump ups, and then based on how he's responded to the pumping, I either add in a little more sodium, a little more water, just making sure he fills out. When you deal with a guy with this much muscle, you really need to be sure they're hydrated. All the hard work was done for weeks and months prior to this day. So the day of the show is just about fine-tuning, paying attention, making sure you look your best. And I also got some footage of Kevin on stage, and for the purposes of YouTube copyright stuff, I have to do a voiceover because the music will usually get blocked. So here you'll see Kevin walking out for pre-judging. And so this was Kevin's class, and there were two, well, there's a couple really good bodybuilders in the class, but there was two that really stood out. And immediately those three are placed in the center of the stage. And in my opinion, Kevin stood out. He has phenomenal structure, and he's also the leanest on stage. So I was very confident throughout the day. You never get too confident because, as always, it's a bodybuilding show, and you got to be wary. You got to stay humble. You got to work hard throughout the whole day because you really never know what's going to happen. So here's Kevin being moved to right of center, which is always a great sign. You never really know what it means per se. So you always want to hit all your poses all the time, but when you're put next to bodybuilders of good caliber like he was, you're in the mix, and that's all you can ask for at a bodybuilding show, is to be compared to who you see as the best on stage, and then just see how it shakes out. So if you could hear the audio from the stage, you would hear me calling out commands. Kevin is a very good poser. He did a lot of homework on his posing. He looks very natural on stage. They're moving these guys around now, so now you can see really who they're trying to compare side by side. As you can see, at least, the video is not that great because it's done with my iPhone, but the color, Kevin's color, I think came out phenomenal. He's got a deep, rich tone to him, very balanced, and the lighting at this show was fantastic. So I'm sure there's going to be some phenomenal pictures. Tony Wild, who takes the pictures for the OCB, was there, so looking forward to seeing his work as it comes out. Here we go through the quarter turns, and to me, Kevin just stands out in every single pose. I mean, there's a couple guys on stage that have some great physiques and great body parts, but Kevin puts it all together. Plus, he's probably got 15 to 20 pounds, maybe more, on both of the gentlemen on either side of him, and it really shows. So for a taller guy, Kevin has a really filled out frame. From the back, he was the only one that had completely striated glutes. The detail here is a little hard to tell, but in person it was very visible, the striations. Kevin can work on his hamstring detail and size. He had some knee issues towards the end of prep, which limited his ability to train his lower body, but he still got through it. He's still a champ. He still pushed his body, and he actually made excellent progress the last few weeks. The other thing about Kevin is that he did the show last year and came in second to a phenomenal guy by the name of Lee Fort in his class. And Lee Fort went on and did a pro show and did very well. So Kevin had his sights set from a year ago to come in and win his pro card at this show. You know, and I told him from the get-go that should be his goal. So until you get on stage, you know, all that hard work, you kind of have to have a lot of faith to get to that point. But Kevin put his faith in me as a coach. He believed everything I said. We spent most of the year reverse dieting. We dieted for the last 20 weeks for this show, for this date to get on stage. And, you know, to spend a year of your life with one goal in mind of winning an overall title, and it come down to being on stage for, you know, maybe 10 minutes he was up there being judged. It's pretty crazy that we put ourselves through this, but this guy, you know, he obviously put it all together. He's got a lot of talent and puts in the work day in and day out. This was his posing routine, and this is not something I actually helped him with, but as you can see, Kevin put a lot of work into a posing routine. Posing routines are not scored in the OCB, so this is purely for the love of the sport. And this is one thing that's going to make Kevin a great pro bodybuilder, is the fact that that pose right there reminds me of Hidetaka Yamagishi, but is that you can tell he loves the sport. Like, he is a bodybuilder. You know, he put a lot of effort into his posing routine. You know, he took care of all the details of someone who loves the sport. And so when I got to see his routine, I was actually, you know, very pleased. I mean, I wish I could pose this gracefully on stage. So that was the end of that. And this was actually my friend Kelsey Conroy. She did something this weekend that I'm not sure I've ever heard of anybody doing. So on Saturday, she competed in the pro qualifier for the OCB for this show. She took second, missing her pro card by 1 spot in the IFPA. But the next day, she actually entered a powerlifting meet and won best overall lifter. And here's the announcement of the second place bodybuilder for the open class. And that only leaves Kevin, and thus he won his pro card right here. And that's it, guys. And after a long day, Will and I headed back to Orlando. We got some dinner, and you know, spending the day away from family, it's all worth it when you get to come home and spend time. And my son and Will's daughter are becoming very good friends.
Oh, bless you. Make a funny face.